thought which says, well, diversity could also be a burden. Why should I take a person when I could also hire another person who is of the other kind? And well, it's an added burden to me. I need to take I need to make special provisions, take special care, etc., etc. So how do you respond to that comment?
No, you're right. So diversity by itself is going to exist. You know, in nature there is diversity.
Yes.
If you're not inclusive about them, you're going to push them to a corner. You're going to put them into cubicles, and you're going to separate them out, and they are not going to engage with you. So you might think that you want a homogeneous group, but there is diversity in all of us. And if you only have clones in your company or in your workplace, which is going to work exactly like you, think exactly like you, then what is the value that you're having in terms of, if you have the same person who's doing exactly the same thing, thinking exactly the same way, then in my mind, would it not be redundant to have two of the same kind, right? Because today we live in a world where things are changing really fast. We want to be able to be open to ensure that we understand the diversity of the customer, diversity of the markets we go to. We want to ensure that we are able to think differently and beat our competition. And for all of this, you will need diversity. Yes, it is hard, because unless you make an effort for inclusion, you can get into a very bad state of creating a Noah's Ark, creating two of every kind into your room, and nobody is talking to each other, right? So therefore, diversity and inclusion, though it is not to be used interchangeably, but it is to be used in a complementary fashion, right? So diversity, bringing diversity into the workplace has shown, studies have proven that it lifts employee morale. And it lifts employee morale in such a way that the engagement of employees becomes better if you are creating that inclusive environment for diverse people, right? When you see that your company cares about maternity and paternity leave, people are offering benefits during a certain period of your life stage. It is not just those people, those individuals who are taking the benefit, but everybody who's seeing this says that, oh, if I have such a need, my company will take care, right? So employee engagement becomes extremely crucial, and creating a diverse workforce helps to have better, it lifts employee morale, improves employee engagement. Now, you might think, so what, right? A couple of years ago, I would say at least 5-6 years ago, SAP and PwC came together and really looked at quantifying the power of employee engagement. And we found that just 1% increase in employee engagement can impact our bottom line by over 50 million euros annually. Now, which company will not want such a benefit, right? And it helps you to have great access to new segments in the marketplace. Because very often when we don't think about diverse segments, it's because we are not exposed to that kind of regions or that kind of places, right? And and when you have someone from a diverse background, it could be, just as an example, you might be a company which is very focused in ensuring that you cater to the Indian market. And you might have someone come from Philippines or Indonesia, and you realize that as much as they are different from you, the commonalities helps you to tap into a completely different segment of the marketplace. And having those links in terms of culture, language, gender, generation, helps you to really go and capture the market in ways that you wouldn't have ever imagined before. In fact, today's companies are even segregating their marketplace in terms of diversity. The third thing I will probably quickly add is it enhances productivity. I know it seems a little little doubtful. How can it enhance productivity? I'll give you a quick story on this. When we had hired some time ago, not in SAP, but in another company at Wipro, we hired people with speech and hearing impairment. Now, what does this mean? This means that every training has to be converted into a written form because these students who had been hired could not hear you speak and they could not talk to you back. So when the instructor started to do training in a written format, showing pictures, encouraging chats, what they resulted in was creating a training document that was so thorough and so perfect that every instructor could use it, and it saved them a lot of time and effort improving their productivity. So being diverse helps you to think differently in the initial stages. Yes, it might look harder, but as you go, you will find that the results are amazing and you're able to have productivity, improved employee morale, and also be able to reach to new segments of the market.